In this video, we will be looking at the Grand Prix Attack. Is one of the trickiest ways to play against the Sicilian, which is what is shown on this channel. There are so many good Sicilian videos to have a look at. Now, what is the Grand Prix Attack? How can we do well against this tricky opening? Let's see. Well, firstly, e4, c5, we have the Sicilian, and now knight c3. What's the point of this move? White wants to get control of the center. Now, black does the same, controlling d4. Now, white plays f4. Now, there's a lot of central control, and the recommendation from me, I want you to play g6, so then the bishop will actually go to g7 pretty soon. When that happens, now you're controlling that square 3 times. Let's look at the first chapter, and then we will look at a worst case scenario. If you just give white everything they want, you might get blasted. So in this position, what is white's most common move? Bishop c4. The bishop comes out to attack the pawn, and here a really good move is just to play e6. Now let's look at the chapters. Let's look at the chapters. We will take it from this moment here. The bishop controls those squares. And now after e6, I give it an exclamation mark. If this is a new move for you, good. You need to block this bishop. Now, a few ways for white to react. You can go e5. You can castle. d3. Let's go e5 first, because this looks like a good move. If white can get the knight in here, it will be really strong. One suggestion, I want you to go d6. You need to break open this pawn structure. Now I'm going to show you a trap. Take. And if they don't take, then you might take them. Take, and now d3. So why is this really good for black? Because you have broken their structure. Now the knight sits on e7 defending each other. Now knight e4, you hit the queen and the pawn, just drop it back. Really nice opening trap. There's no time for us to take the knight because check, and you win the knight. So really, if we just go back 2 moves here, this has actually gone really, really well for black. After castle, now we can defend b6 and castle. So this kind of position is looking very nice. The 2 knights defend each other, lots of central control from the bishop and the knight and the pawn as well. Bishop can come out on this long diagonal, the rooks can come in the center, this knight can go here as well. Good. Now let's just go back a few moves. This is an opening theory video. It will be so useful when you play against this setup. Now pawn to e5. What if we go d5? d5 is possible as well. d6 is another option. So you can strike in the center. After this, you can go c4, then a6, or you just get the knight out. Knight e7, and then castle. So this is looking pretty good. d4, take, castle, something like this. d4, take. You can go c4, and then but the bishop's going to trade off anyway. So something like this. If white ever opens up the center, take, then castle. With this position, we can go f6. So that's one option. Let's go back here. Let's go back to this moment. d6, d6, queen e2. Okay, we've covered that. Good. Next chapter, 4.1. Now we look at this position. Now what we actually had this position recently. The queen can also go to e1, then come to h4. I'm going to show you the worst case scenario, something to avoid. So let's just draw in a few arrows for black. Now I've drawn these already. 1, 2, lots of central control. That's really what the Sicilian is, controlling the central dark square. The knights defend each other, bishop out. I know I've said this already. Now why have I included this diagram? Because now we can look at white's arrows. g4, f5, trying to get in this pawn break. Now if they can't get this in, then it's not the best position for white. The knight and even the bishop controls that square. Okay, so that's one plan for white. Another one is c3, control the center. Another one, bishop out. And I said this before, the queen doesn't have to go to e2. Queen e1, queen h4, and then attack. Alright, now we look at this situation. Let's go for the worst case scenario now. And then I'll just show you what happens. But we'll take it from this moment here. So we'll go from the top. We quickly flick through the moves. Knight c6, you control the central square. That's the point. Control. Find ways to control it. Can you see black is controlling that square 3 times? Hit the pawn, block that bishop. Now we can go d5. So there's a tricky move here. You can go queen e1, and now you can castle. Did you know? I was checking the engine, and I'm glad I did, because then I prepared this video for you guys. After queen e1, there's a really, really cool move here. Let me just check. We're 4 minutes in. Okay, let's hurry up. There's a really cool move here. d5 is actually possible. Incredible. I thought you just castle. Now, if you forget this move, it's okay. Just castle like a normal human being. After take, knight d4. What a move. If you go knight d4, this is actually possible. If take, take. That knight has to move. If you go here, then knight takes d5. How cool is that? Bishop defends the pawn, beautiful knight in the center. You can't take because the queen goes there. If there's a check, you can always go bishop d7. Really cool line. Now, you guys might be thinking, well, what's William talking about after knight e4? Why not take? We don't actually take the rook. That's what I thought to know. There's a really cool tactic here. If we take the rook, I think we're worse. Check. Look at this king. I don't really want to just have my king randomly on this spot. It's defended. I know we're attacking both, but this can't be right. Just in general, why are we going rook chasing when our king is just got no good squares? The queen might sit on f2. You take an now d3. That knight is not coming out. The queen is there. This bishop is perfect. If we lose that knight, then we're just down a lot. I wonder what black can even play. Can't really see that good a move. Maybe get the bishop out here, bishop here, and then that knight is actually lost. And our king is awful. So let's go back many moves. This moment. After knight d4, it's actually the best move is knight check. Why? We hit both. Why? What's the key move now? The key move is we can actually win the bishop instead. After this check, the king moves and then we take. And then we are up a bishop. We are up that piece that our opponent doesn't have. Doesn't matter if they check. It doesn't matter at all. We can drop the queen back. Good. So that's one really cool move. Let me just go back many moves here. Now, if you guys forget this, because this queen move looks really dangerous anyway, just castle like a normal person. And after d3, now we can strike. That's the whole point. You know, in a previous position, our pawn was there. If e5, we can strike in the center now. d5. Bishop moves, and there are a few ways to play this kind of position. You can go b6. Oops. Let me draw a few out. b6, then bishop b7. You can act really fast now and go knight d4. The reason that's a good move is because you want to get rid of that bishop. So if they swing the queen over, that is one option. Take. You can even go c4 actually. That might be one option. Yeah, c4 is a very interesting move here. Take. Yes, we got this tactic again. Queen check. Beautiful tactic. Check. Hitting both, you have to recapture. And then check. Wow, that's beautiful. So that's a really cool tactic. Let's just go back many moves here. So in this moment, really, a good move for white is to take. Take this, because the knight is so dangerous. Now we take, we hit the knight. That's really a good idea for black in these kind of positions. You hit the knight, it moves away. Doubled pawns are pretty ugly. If you play a random move, then that, I don't really love this. I don't love this. So let's undouble our pawns. Always a good chance. Take. And now let's handle this position. b5. I checked this with the engine when preparing this video. b5. What's an idea? We go a5, then a4. What's another idea? Well, we're just restricting the bishop, and then our bishop can come to e4. You see these central pawns? They look good. They're also targets for our bishop on b7. So let's go back a little bit. We're almost done, guys. We are 8 minutes in. Let's hurry up. I'm going to show you the worst case scenario pretty soon. So knight d4 is a good move. Also, it stops this attack. Now, final moment, worst case scenario. This is what happens if you give white everything they want. They're just going to crush you in style. So here, f5 is a move. Now, how did this happen? Well, I'm actually going to go back a few moves here. Let's go back to chapter 5 this moment. Worst case scenario. Let's click on that one. Here, d5. I have found it. This is the worst case scenario, d3. Now, if we don't strike in the center, it's not a good move because we have to block white's brilliant bishop. So let's say we just play a normal move like d6 and a6. I mean, these moves are okay for black, but they're not good enough because we're giving white everything they want. Let's just drop the bishop back, and now they swing the queen over. So this is really the worst case scenario for us, but it's the dream situation for our opponent. That's why it's a tricky reply, the Grand Prix attack. Queen is attacking h7. It might come in with the knight and then f5 as well. So what's one situation? If we just ignore it, I mean, the bishop's on the wrong square anyway. Maybe it opens up, but not here. Not here. f5 is just blowing open, and this is a really thematic idea. When I say thematic, we see it normally in these kind of positions. Take, and then bishop h6. We don't take back. No. You do not take back because now the knight comes in and we're hitting. we're hitting the queen. So that is not acceptable. So here, after take, bishop h6. Now I go to that final chapter. We'll take it from here. f5. f5 take and bishop h6. And this is just going to crumble. If you just keep taking, then you lose. Knight g5. What a move. I love this situation. So let me try to explain every arrow. Here we go. Do I have all the arrows in my mind? Yes. That's the key weakness. Knight and queen attack this once the bishop takes. Not only that, we've got this. And the cool thing is, in this situation, it's like white has given up 2 pawns, but now every single white piece is in the attack. So really, if we play maybe a move like blocking the bishop, it's just game over. Take, take, and that is mate. Oh dear. Worst case scenario achieved. Let's go back 3 moves. So there's no point blocking the bishop because we're in trouble. What if we play this cool move? Knight there. Hitting both. Sacrifice. It's a beautiful way to just crush. Just to get crushed, really. Take. And then take. Because it's going to be mate. There's no time to stop mate on h7. You can take, but the king is going nowhere. You can play that cool move. And can you see the king is just going on a journey? It's going to end pretty soon. Let's go for a check. Just want to show you this absolutely brilliant move. White's going to win this because there's some random dude in the center. Check out this move. Knight check. What a move. And now, check. And now this is probably one of the most beautiful mates I've ever seen. It's not really needed. You can play a move like c3. And then the bishop can come back to b1. Or the queen can even come back. But give yourself a chance. Pause the video now. 5 seconds. Can you see an absolutely stunning move to make this work? 5 seconds. The move is actually queen to g4. I've never seen this until I prepared this video, this special video for you guys. Queen g4 check, take, and rook e4. Wow. So let's go back many moves here. Long variation, good, it's useful. This is the worst case situation you want to avoid. Now, anything else to say? I think that's it really. Yeah, we're crashing in. Not this pawn idea, this pawn sacrifice. Just want to show you from here. f5. Every single piece is in the attack. f5, and it doesn't matter how they take. If they take this way, bishop h6. Oops, bishop h6 is already so strong. So, why is William showing this? Because you can avoid all of this, because you can go d5. And then I've already explained this, knight d4. And then you are attacking both, and this is actually a really nice way to handle the Grand Prix attack. Thank you so much for watching. We are 13 minutes in. It's time for me to end the video. If you want to stick around on this channel, I have 2 videos and 1 advanced video to recommend. If you want to watch how to play the Sicilian chess opening fast, 12 minutes, that will be in the top left corner. Bottom left corner will be the best chess opening. It's got a vital response you must know. It's the C3 Sicilian, very similar to the video you just watched. That will be 8 minutes. And then in the top right corner, I have a surprising advanced video for you. Alireza Firouzja, one of the best players in the world, plays the advanced opening. Nope, he plays the Sicilian Najdorf. So that will be in the top right corner. So which video will you choose? 1, 2, or 3? Thank you so much for watching.